Hey, this is Brent, and welcome to Brent's Crossroads. So, are you wondering if a drink package on the Carnival Jubilee is worth the money? Is it worth it? So, we're going to tour every bar, and we're going to have some drinks, and we're going to learn some tips and tricks. So, let's start by taking a look here at the ship layout. This is one of the maps you find by the elevators. And we're going to go down to the bars. These are the 13 bars. And we're going to start off here with the Alchemy Bar. And the Alchemy Bar, it's one of the bars that's pretty standard on every Carnival ship. Has an interesting blend and mix with a lot of like herbs. And they do more experimental drinks at the Alchemy Bar. Things are a little bit different fare. This is located in Currents on the 7th floor, overlooking Dr. Ink's. So look at the menu, which from what I could tell, most of the menu was the pretty standard Alchemy Bar menu that's, across all the ships. Nothing that seemed out of the ordinary. Good drinks. Sarah was the best bartender. Now, center stage. This is the main bar on the 6th floor of Grand Central in front of the stage area. And it has the usual standard bar menu for Carnival. And we tried to get a drink here, never got served, so we never did. And it was kind of a theme with the ones in Grand Central. And we'll talk about the Grandview Bar later. I was so pissed off about the Grandview Bar that I didn't even take any footage of it. As you can see, this bar services this whole big area. And pay attention to Java Blue back here behind it, because we're going to come back to Java Blue later. And like I said, it's the typical Carnival menu. You get your beers, wines, mixed drinks, cocktails. Dr. Ink's. This was one of the bars I was extremely excited about. And this is the anchor bar for the 6th floor occurrence, where you have the really cool digital window displays. You have the ceiling. Dr. Ink's is good. I didn't have a bad drink at Dr. Ink's. They have music parties here. It's a little bit bigger of a bar than like the Alchemy. There's seats all the way around it. Plus you have the seating area. Plus the seating goes over into the Emerald's Bistro area. So there's lots of seating. They have they have music. They have a little small stage there across the walkway so they play some music too. And they have this really cool machine that will put cool little design of Dr. Ink on the top of the drink. And this drink here was the one with the pop rocks, which was really interesting. Good, but really interesting. And then here's what it looks like with the design that the machine puts on top. The snapping pop was the one with the pop rocks. Dr. Special had the design. And here's a couple more of the drinks. This was the main reason we got the drink package.
I think this is 6.
So here's the Swedish fish drink.
Crimson Catch.
And there's the Crimson Catch, and here's the cotton candy, the Vanish Beneath.
And both are really good. Okay, this blue over here that you see across on the 7th floor, that is the Grandview Bar. And I tried several times to get drinks over there, never to get served, got pissed off, never even filmed anything over there. Guys, Pig and Anchor Brewhouse. This is a standard one that's kind of on some of the different ships. And
So this is the most impractical, weirdest ass menu I've ever seen in my life. Like, really. That is bizarre AF. How can you flip this if you're drunk? Man, that's hard. I'd rather just move to a different bar. What the? Yeah, I would move to a different bar if I went on a boat.
And what about the Heroes Bar? There is no Heroes Bar. On the Jubilee, it's a lounge that's across from the Pig and Anchor Brewhouse, and also has ice cream, and also has TVs to watch sports, but it's just a big lounge. There's not a Heroes Bar like there is on the other Carnival ships. The brewery, it has basic ones that are across all the Brewhouse ones, but they have some special ones that they do different. So be on the lookout for those. All right, now we're at number 6, the Havana Bar, which is a pretty standard bar if there's a Havana area on a Carnival ship. They use this a lot for part of the trivias. And it also has entrances into the Havana area that you have to have a key card to get into. Bands play here. Plenty of things to do. And here's a look at the menu. This is one of... If Java Blue is busy in the morning and you want to get your coffee, the Havana Bar is one of the places that has specialty coffees that you can come and get instead of waiting in line at Java Blue. The Marina Bar. This is across from La China de Capitano. And it has a smaller menu. It also has an outdoor section on the other side of the doors, and you can sit out on the patio, and you can order your drinks out there. So if the line is full inside, be sure to look outside. Now we're at the Piano Bar.
And here's the Piano Bar, which so far has been one of the few bars I haven't hit. There's usually somebody here playing the piano, performing. It's a small, kind of intimate bar, and most of them usually are. Good place to hang out if you like piano music.
Yeah, here's like the menu. It's a small menu, has some special drinks that you can't get at some of the other bars, but it seemed to be the same menu that you find at other piano bars. But if you want to listen to some piano music, it's a good place to hang out. And this was one of my favorites, the Red Frog Tiki Bar. Instead of being the Red Frog Rum Bar and the Blue Iguana Tequila Bar, this is just a tiki bar, which I love tiki drinks. And the atmosphere was fantastic. It's also 2 stories. The upper level's not open the whole time.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So it has tiki drinks and then like the Mango Magic. So it has some of your classic...
Mango Magic, usual, but usual.
Your classic Serenity Bar. This had the same menu as all the other Serenity Bars on Carnival ships. You know, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing spectacular. Because one of the reasons we got the drink package on the Jubilee was because of like the Dr. Inks and we're getting ready to go to the Golden Mermaid. For the places like this that had lots of different special drinks, and we wanted to try as many of them as possible. So that was the main reason why we ponied up for the drink package on this cruise. So here we are, speaking of the Golden Mermaid, here we are. This is one of the bars that opens up at like 2.
And yeah, for as big a boat as this is with all the bars, a lot of the bars do not open until 2 o'clock. So especially if you're on the 6, 7, and 8 floors, which is like the majority of where all the things are at, there is not a lot of places to get a drink at all.
Here's a couple of the drinks from the Golden Mermaid. And this is one of the specialty drinks. They put the bubble on top, and then you get like a little bead that you're supposed to make a wish and then pop the bubble. And I think it's the Golden Mermaid. It was a bigger bar, and so a lot of meetups are held here and the mixers. Now we're going to take a look at the menu, and we sat here for long periods of time on a couple of nights, and we pretty much drank our way through everything on here. it was all really good. And Paula, who was our waitress or bartender for most times we were there, absolutely fantastic. Her and Sarah over in the Alchemy Bar were two of the best bartenders we've ever had on a Carnival boat. So hopefully, if you're ever on the Jubilee, you'll have one of them, or maybe you'll find them on a different boat. But I didn't really have a bad drink there. Just remember to always order the cocktails and not the frozen drinks. But if you do order the frozen drinks, order an extra shot when your 10 minutes is up. You know, because they do cool stuff like at the Golden Mermaid too, like this blue rose ice that sits in there and melts, and you know they have a glitter one. Just lots of cool stuff. And actually, here's Paola and Sarah right now. Now we're gonna go to Summer Landing so we can go to the watering hole. And the watering hole is one of the bars that is outside. You go out through the patio doors before you get into the area with Heroes and Guys Pick and Anchor Brewhouse. Because you'll come out here, pretty much the watering hole is the bar that services the hot tubs over here on the side. And I went out there to go get a drink, and this was 30 to 40 minutes before they were supposed to close. And they were already closed. So, didn't get to try the watering hole, didn't get to see the drink menu because they'd already put them all up. But I'm assuming, since it's just one of the generic bars, that it was the standard Carnival menu. Tides Bar, same thing. It took me forever to find the Tides Bar. So I went up for breakfast at Shack's Big Chicken, and I thought I'd catch some footage for the tour video. And it's like, all right, here's the Tides pool. Looked around, there's all the seating out here. This is also like, the seating for Shacks. Tides Bar is, still don't see the Tides Bar. Because I was like looking for it at this point. It's like, all right, here's the Tides pool. Oh, there it is, the Tides Bar.
The Tides Bar.
Never hit it when it was open. But same thing, it's got the generic Carnival menu.
So outside of Fahrenheit 555, there's like this other bar, but it's not on the map. So this is like the bonus extra bar. This is your extra credit bar. So it's listed and it's here, but it doesn't have. It is all wine. And then the small one.
Anything else? Or that's it?
Yeah, let me get the 555 sidecar, please.
Sidecar?
Now,
Yeah, so some of these cocktails aren't available at any of the other bars. So, said extra credit. This is your bonus point bar.
and the 555 was also the only restaurant bar that you could just go sit at. Now, drink package tips. These are things I highly suggest you recommend you do with it. First thing, you cannot use it on embarkation day. It does not start till 6 a.m. on your second day. And also, as you're seeing now, the welcome aboard, the Texas menus are extremely limited. Like they're at Dr. Inks. You only get 3 drinks that you can order, and that's it. There's only 4 drinks that you can order at Alchemy Bar. You know, they run a reduced menu. Apparently it's something with Texas law that they don't run the full bar menu. And the drink package tip, visit Java Blue. They have spiked coffees, which, you know, you can find at other ones, but there's also spiked milkshakes and spiked floats, which you can use your drink package on. So if you want some alcohol with your sweet, you know, some beverages, well, there you go. All right, is the drink package worth it? The verdict. On the Jubilee, if you've never been before, I think it is worth it just because there's so many bars that have so many specialty drinks that it make you probably spend more if you're going to try a bunch of the drinks than what you would do without the drink package. It makes it a lot easier to try things. And because it is a drink package, Carnival changed the rules. So now you have to wait 10 minutes before you reorder a drink. You can get another drink. But, if it's, you're going out, you're being adventurous, and you try a new drink and you don't like it, 10 minutes, you can order a new one. You don't feel any pressure to buy it, to, finish it if you really don't like it. So overall, like I said, first time, if it's your first time on the Jubilee, I definitely recommend a drink package. If I go a second time, I'd have to weigh it a little bit more heavier than what I did on this one, but I might be tempted again because there's a lot of drinks that were really good. So thanks for coming along and meet me here at the Crossroads. Be sure to check out my other videos in the Carnival Jubilee series. That includes port stops, days, excursions, meals, reviews, room tours, everything you need to know about the Carnival Jubilee. This is your place. So, thanks for coming by the Crossroads, and I'll see you out on our travels. Bye.